He is a clown in blackface sitting on the Supreme Court. He gets me that angry.
I'm sure.
He doesn't belong there. And for him to say slaves had dignity, I mean, doesn't he know that slaves were in chain, that they were whipped on the back? This man does not belong in the Supreme Court. He is an embarrassment. He is a disgrace to America. I'll say it on camera.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Let me tell you, when a so-called person of color said something or has political opinions that don't align with the Democrat Party, the race crusaders of America come out with their KKK hoods on, and they reveal the actual racist and the proverbial lynch mob, right, that is still existent in the Democrat Party among liberals, mainly on the left, okay, overwhelmingly on the left, really, to be quite honest with you, almost exclusively on the left, despite the narrative that the mainstream liberal media wants to put out there about so-called white supremacy being unique to the right, when again, you know, we've seen white supremacists and acts of white supremacy actually come from the left. I mean, look at the Buffalo shooter. He was an avowed leftist, okay? He disliked conservatism, okay? So yeah, white supremacy definitely can come from the left. In fact, that is probably where most of the so-called white supremacy is in this country, on the left. And as you just saw in that clip, that was actor George Takei back in 2015 telling us what he thought about Clarence Thomas. He was a clown in blackface, right? Called him a clown in blackface, okay? Again, these Democrats have no problems attacking black folks when they disagree with them. In fact, AOC recently, in response to the Supreme Court delivering decisions that she doesn't like, name dropped Clarence Thomas as a justice who should be impeached, again, for disagreeing with Democrats. Take a look.
I personally believe that Clarence Thomas should be impeached beyond a shadow of a doubt. I am astonished that this is a position that is in any way controversial to anyone. The degree and extent of misconduct that Clarence Thomas alone, in addition to several of his colleagues, have participated and engaged in, is foundationally delegitimizing to the Supreme Court. And it is our responsibility, our constitutional duty, to rein them in.
Yeah, so what I find to be absolutely fascinating about the left's attacks on Clarence Thomas and highly hypocritical is the fact that if conservatives were to attack somebody like, I don't know, Ketanji Brown Jackson, Biden's affirmative action Supreme Court nominee, who's a black woman, or allegedly a black woman, because she doesn't know what a woman is, so I gotta say alleged. But if conservatives were to attack her over her opinions, okay, doesn't mean they do a race. They would call conservatives racist. They would say there was a racist attack against a black woman, right? Simply criticizing a black woman who's a Democrat, who's a liberal, is racist, okay? But for whatever reason, it is open season on so-called people of color that are conservatives, that are not Democrats. Whatever, you can say whatever you want about them. Doesn't matter what it is. And the left will never call it racist, okay? In fact, they will engage in overtly what I could define as racist rhetoric towards the so-called person of color that is a conservative, okay? I mean, look, ABC went as far as to basically insinuate that Clarence Thomas is not black, but posted a tweet congratulating Ketanji Brown Jackson as the first black Supreme Court justice, okay? Basically throwing shade at not just Clarence Thomas, but also Thurgood Marshall, who, for whatever reason, everybody forgot that he was the first black person on the Supreme Court. But ABC is the only one out here basically trying to question Clarence Thomas's blackness because he doesn't agree with Democrats. We also have a woke white liberal and a failed CNN Plus host, Rex Chapman, who got dragged over a thread attacking Clarence Thomas for his blackness, right? Insinuating that Clarence Thomas ain't black, right? In Joe Biden's words, because you've never seen him at an NBA game, right? On the sidelines. Wow. As if being at an NBA game has anything to do with your blackness or your skin color. Yeah, these people truly do put their KKK hoods on when it comes to black conservatives, right? Or so-called people of color that disagree with them. So let's read about this, because this guy got trashed for insinuating that Clarence Thomas isn't black. Social media influencer and former CNN host Rex Chapman is under fire for suggesting Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas isn't black since he hasn't been spotted at, quote, an NBA game. In a Thursday thread attacking Thomas, the college basketball icon included a video of Thomas posing for a picture with college graduates. Quote, the time Clarence Thomas attended the graduation event of Chistenham college students along with late Justice Antonin Scalia's son, 2018, not another person of color in the picture, tweeted Chapman. Such a champion, LOL. Okay, so let's watch. Okay, so what this guy is saying, I want you guys to understand what this guy said. Clarence Thomas ain't black because he's posing a picture full of white people. And for whatever reason, that disqualifies him from the black cookout, right? He can't come to the black cookout. He ain't black according to a white liberal, right? Because black people that take pictures with white folks ain't black. Okay, interesting, right? Interesting. Quote, I think the thing I think is most funny about this is that these white kids and their parents view this as the entry into black America, he added. I don't know. I think the parents of these kids actually just view this as their kids taking a picture with one of the most iconic Supreme Court justices ever, right? I think that that's what they view this as, okay? I don't think they're thinking about Clarence Thomas's skin color. They're actually thinking about the guy's accomplishments and him as a person, in which all accounts of Clarence Thomas, if you actually really heard people talk about him, people that actually know him, right? They say that he's an amazing person, right? He's an absolutely amazing person, funny guy, you know, just a great human being overall. Right? That's not the narrative that the mainstream liberal media wants you to hear. Chapman went on to tweet, Clarence Thomas would last 20 to 30 seconds in the NBA locker room. How would you know that? How do you know that? Right? Are you saying that there's a certain way that you have to act to be in an NBA locker room? Right? And I wonder what that certain way is according to this guy. Right? Do you got to act like a thug? Right? You got to act like a criminal? Okay? Do you got to use poor grammar? Do you got to listen to rap music? Do you got to be a Democrat? Do you got to be liberal? Quote, why have you never seen Clarence Thomas at an NBA game? As in ever, he continued. Again, does going to an NBA game make you black? Right? I'm trying to figure that out. Does going to an NBA game make you black? Quote, Bill Clinton used to come to our games in Landover with the Bullets. Clarence Thomas never, concluded Chapman. Okay, so because Clarence Thomas never came to an NBA game, yeah, this guy is saying that Clarence Thomas isn't black. Right? As if black people must be fans of basketball and you're not black if you don't show up to an NBA game. Wow. Incredible stuff. When one Twitter user retweeted Chapman and compared Justice Thomas to Clayton Bigsby, a fictional character from a Dave Chappelle sketch, Chapman was highly amused. The premise of the sketch is a blonde black man who is a white supremacist because he doesn't know he's black. Quote, the world's only black white supremacist, as they say in the sketch. Wow. Incredible stuff. Incredible stuff. Albert Feinstein says, can't tell him that he's Clayton Bigsby. Only thing is he isn't blind. Wow. Incredible stuff. Incredible. Again, this is a black liberal saying this. Calling the man a black white supremacist. Just because he doesn't agree with Democrats. Chapman showed his tweet with the characterization of justice in a reply. Let's watch this.
Excuse me. Not sure we're in the right place. We're looking for Clayton Bigsby.
Well, look no further, fella. You found me.
Clayton Bigsby, the author?
What, you don't think I can write them books? Just because I'm blind don't mean I'm dumb.
How could this have happened? A black white supremacist.
Now, that's funny because of Dave Chappelle, but it's not funny how they're using it against Clarence Thomas, okay? This stuff is really getting old, man. It really is. The anger and insulting thread didn't go over well with many Twitter users, especially among conservatives, including Ben Shapiro, who blasted Chapman. Ben Shapiro says, so your idea is that somehow Clarence Thomas, a man who grew up in the sharecropping South and rose to become a Supreme Court justice, is insufficiently black because he doesn't go to NBA games. Yeah, that's exactly what he's saying, right? A lot of people don't know that about Clarence Thomas is that his come up was very Southern, right? The guy grew up around a ton of black folks. You know, I don't think it's right to question his blackness. Okay, again, but they will praise people like Colin Kaepernick as some type of black civil rights icon, and he was raised by whites, right? And we don't even know if Kaepernick is even black. I think Kaepernick might be an Arab, right? Just by looking at his nose. He might be an Arab. I don't even think the man black. But anyways, that's another video for another day. Guy Benson says, yikes and yups at this garbage thread. Jeff B says, because he was busy being Associate Justice of the Supreme Court while you are most notable for that time you went to court. Jason Whitlock says, Jesus cast out the demons, afflicting Rex Chapman and all of us. Let us all see we are made in your image. Amen. Rex, I'd love to pray with you and talk about the things that brings us together. I've tweeted many stupid things. One love. William Davis says, Rex Chapman is a convicted felon who got a second chance only because he is woke and is now trashing an iconic SCOTUS justice who overcame racism and poverty in the Jim Crow South. Justice Thomas speaks truth to power. Rex is a coward who hides behind powerful institutions. Yeah, they don't like Clarence Thomas because he's a black man who doesn't agree with Democrats, but he also overcame so-called systemic racism, right? Real systemic racism when it actually was a thing. He overcame that and became a Supreme Court justice. Okay, he reached one of the highest offices in the land. He proved that racism can't hold somebody back if you try, okay, if you work hard, if you put your head down and do what you got to do, right? I'm just saying, Democrats don't like that, okay, because that narrative is antithetical to how Democrats want black America, which is dependent on the Democrat Party. Chad Felix Green says, I wasn't aware this was a requirement of a Supreme Court justice. Which other justices have you seen at NBA games? Derek Hunter says, get it, because black people like basketball. Rexy and his clan buddies probably brainstormed this one for a while. How can I say Clarence Thomas isn't really black without saying he isn't really black? Great people you associate with ESPN and Disney. Quote, show me you're racist without saying you're racist. WTF. Yeah, I mean, this is the Democrat Party. Once again, showing their face. Once again, showing their true colors and who they actually really are, okay? They have not changed. They're still the Dixiecrats of the South. That's what they are. They have not changed. Joe Biden said, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black, okay? That's what he said. And at that moment, if the left, if the Democrats actually, again, weren't the Dixiecrats that they actually really are, if they weren't the party of slavery, okay, which again, that's who they were historically, if they still weren't that, then Joe Biden should have been disqualified from being president immediately, right? There's no way he should have been able to win or be the Democrat nominee saying something like that. But when black conservatives say things that the left doesn't like, it brings out the racism in that party. It brings back out the chains. It brings back out the KKK hood. It brings back out the lynch mobs, right? It brings back out the nooses that has been historically associated with the Democrat Party. Things have not changed. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a black conservative perspective. Peace.